men's triple jump activity.
And once again, I said it was getting cool, and it's very, very important that these athletes stay warm, that they keep dressed as warm as they possibly can. But let's watch the technique on this. Again, triple jump. It used to be called hop, step, and jump. They hit the board with one foot. That's the hop. They come down on the same foot for the step. That's the hard part. Then they go to the other foot for the jump. Well, let's watch it here and see how good a practitioner this young man is. Not particularly good. What you'll normally see a triple jumper do that does not have the technique down well, and he knows, he's disgusted with himself, is he will have that second phase be shorter. Let's take a look at the records in this event. 53.9 1/4, the U.S. high school record by Brian Tabor of Clark Central High School in Athens, Georgia. The California State meet record held by Ken Frazier of Mission High School, 52.4 3/4. The world record in this event is 58.11 1/2 by Willie Banks of the United States, and that is held up since 1985. So these young men are still jumping extremely well in high school. Anything over 50 feet is considered very, very good. And here we have more battle scars, more wraps, more braces. This is an abusive event. I can tell you that, and Willie Banks would tell you that. It's very hard on the body, hard on the back, hard on the knees, hard on the ankles, maybe one of the most abusive events in track and field. And as I was saying earlier, you want to watch to see that the phases are a little bit more even. In fact, the formula is 6-5-6, and that's pretty much in meters. You would see a 6-meter hop, a 5-meter step, and a 6-meter jump. So that second phase is only supposed to be slightly shorter. As we saw with the other athlete, it was a lot shorter. Let's see how this young man does as he gains speed on the runway. Okay, he got way over rotated, almost landed on his face in the pit. This is an event that the athletes this young, it's hard for them to get a hold of. It's hard for them to master because it is hard on the body. You got to have good speed, you have to have excellent strength, and you have to have good long jumping ability. Number 356, I'm looking up on my sheet. Lyron Wilson from Washington. He's a senior, and you can see why his knee had a brace on it. He is having some problems with his technique.
Here's the triple jump competition for men.
And that's our leader, Alfred Rollins, getting on the runway. See, find out which jump they're in. Again, it's getting a little bit cool. The wind is blowing sometimes in their face, sometimes at their back. He's from Wasco High School. I remember from Wasco High School. That's the guy's national high school record I broke. Otis Haley was from Wasco High School in California. It's the only time I've heard of another guy from Wasco High School. Anyway, he's leading the triple jump. Notice how I get those Dwight Stone's high jump references in as often as I possibly can. Let's see how good a technician he happens to be. Some of the other young men we saw earlier were having some problems. They were injured. This young man doesn't seem to have any tapering braces on anywhere. Big hop, pretty good step. Oh, and it broke down bad on the jump. You see, he got way too high in the air on the step phase, that second phase, and he came down hard, and he wasn't able to rebound from it. That's why the event is so abusive. It's all that up and down. It's so hard on the joints, the knee joint, the back, the ankles. Willie Banks doesn't expect to be walking all that well when he gets to be 50 or 60 years old because of this event, because he's jumping it so long. Let's watch him. He's bent a little bit far forward here, I have to tell you. He's sprinting more down the runway like a long jumper. You want to use more controlled speed, and he's not using his arms well until the step phase, but then he broke down. He barely got off the ground for his jump phase, but he's still the leader at this point in time. You can see him getting in the sand. That's another thing with the whole long jump, triple jump thing. It's just a filthy event. You got sand everywhere. It gets in your shoes. It gets in your eyes, in your mouth. It's terrible. You got to take his shoes off every time. It stretches them out. You have to have more shoes all the time. It's a terrible event. Besides being abusive on the body, it's also very messy.
I'm beginning to wonder why we haven't had the saga of Willie Banks here and turned it into a series or something, a mini special. A nasty event, a dirty event, sand in your shoes and your hair and everything.